Welcome to Echoes of Revolution, where we explore the untold stories and cultural forces behind historical movements. I'm your host, Frankie.
And I'm Brynn. Today we're doing a lesser known but powerful aspect of the French Revolution, how revolutionary songs united the French people and became anthems of change. Let's get started.
To start with, I'm going to give a little bit of revolution background, and that is that the French Revolution spanned from 1789 to 1799. It was a transformative period that dismantled the monarchy and challenged class hierarchies. It's known for pivotal events like the storming of Bastille and iconic figures like Robespierre. But behind the political and military upheaval, a cultural revolution was taking place. Revolutionary songs like La Marseillaise and Chat Era weren't just entertainment. They were powerful tools of unity and propaganda. These songs gave the people a voice, allowing them to express their struggles, hopes, and defiance. These songs were sung in public spaces, marches, and even on battlefields. They turned abstract ideas like liberty and equality into something tangible and rallying.
So, what exactly were these revolutionary songs? They were anthems of change, spreading ideas and strengthening solitary. La Marseillaise is probably the most famous, written 1792 by Claude Joseph Raquet de Leselle as a call to arms, but there were others like Chai Era and La Camignole, which captured the spirit of optimism and defiance.
But where did this happen? Paris was the epicenter of all of this. Cafes, salons, theaters, and even the streets became stages for this musical movement. The people turned their everyday spaces into places of revolution, and when the height of revolutionary song culture was between 1789 and 1794, during the most intense phases of the revolution, including the Reign of Terror, and this was when music was most needed to unify and inspire.
Some important characters. Let's talk about some of the key players. First up, Claude Joseph Ragat de Lisle. He was a French army officer and composer who wrote La Marseillaise, a song that would later become France's national anthem. His creation united troops and citizens alike.
Then we have leaders like Maximilien Robespierre. While he wasn't a songwriter, Robespierre understood the power of music in inspiring loyalty and rallying the masses.
And let's not forget about Georges Danton, a revolutionary leader and orator. His speeches often accompanied the singing of these anthems, amplifying their power to mobilize crowds.
But why does this matter? Revolutionary songs are more than melodies. They're time capsules that capture the heartbreak of society. These anthems tell stories of courage, defiance, and hope. They made political ideals accessible and memorable, transcending social and educational barriers.
In moments of fear, these songs became anthems of solitary. They lifted spirits and brought communities together in their shared fight for freedom. While figures like Rosefaire and Danton dominate historical narratives, these songs immortalize the collective courage of ordinary people who fueled the revolution.
Here's an interesting twist. Revolutionary songs didn't just inspire, they intimidated. Take Chai Era, for example. It started as a lively dance melody, but its lyrics evolved into a warning to the aristocracy. The aristocrats to live the lamppost is a quote. This dual role of hope and menace shows how music became a weapon of the revolution.
And it wasn't just spontaneous. Leaders like Robespierre deliberately used music to spread propaganda and maintain moral, highlighting the strategic power of art as political tool. It is a lesson that still resonates in modern activism.
Here's a fun fact. Did you know that Chat Era was inspired by Benjamin Franklin? During his time in France, Franklin frequently said Chat Era, which means it'll be fine in English, to encourage optimism about the French American Revolution. The French borrowed this phrase and transformed it into a rallying cry for their own revolution. Now let's dive into some lyrics from La Marseillaise. I'm going to read a small excerpt from La Marseillaise. It says, "Do you hear in the countryside the roar of those ferocious soldiers? They're coming right into your arms to slit the roads of your sons and your wives."
These vivid and visceral lyrics were meant to ignite anger and urgency, turning fear into action. They weren't just words, they were calls to defend the revolution.
And from Chat Era, we have a small excerpt as well that says, "Despite the mutineers, we'll succeed when we've hanged all those gentlemen there." The defiance here is palpable. It's a reminder that these songs were as much about resistance as they were about hope. Revolutionary songs weren't just a soundtrack of the French Revolution. They were a driving force. They united people, inspired action, and left an indelible mark on history.
And their legacy lives on. From civil rights anthems to modern protest songs, music continues to be a tool for change. Thanks for joining us on Echoes of Revolution. Until next time, keep listening to the rhythms of history.